I mean, I have a name. I have my own name, Alex Ferrari, which is kind of like a little brand within itself. But Indie Film Hustle is my main brand, and I could do things with Indie Film Hustle that I wouldn't really feel comfortable doing with Alex Ferrari. Would you agree?
Yeah, 100%.
Yeah, you
100%.
do that all the time.
Yeah. So I mean, yeah, it's funny. I'll get questions. Like I have a little mentorship group where like I have like filmmakers that come in and we talk about a bunch of stuff and I help them. They can come on my sets and we do a bunch of stuff like that. Mm-hmm. And one of the things, I always talk about is like, if you want to have like a personal Instagram, cool. But make then a separate one for your filmmaking stuff. Like don't combine both. Like, cause especially now Instagram, I tell people it's like, it's your reel now. Like it's your website, it's your portfolio. People can come straight to your Instagram. I've been booked off so many jobs just because of my Instagram. Like when people come there, they can see like, oh, he's done this. Oh, this video is cool. His work's cool. I like what he's about, his work. Like they can just see. But then if throughout all that content and videos or behind the scenes or whatever I'm putting on there, I have like pictures of my dogs and this and that, like it kind of waters it down a little bit. So it's like, if you want to have your personal one, cool. But if you want to be also like a filmmaker or a brand or a business, like have another one too. Don't try and like find the balance between both. Like, that's important. I think personally.
One thing I would also say, and this is just my opinion though, like on your business one, leave politics out, leave religion out, leave all of that stuff out, because look, there's a lot of things I would want to say about today's world, but it's just not on brand, and you got to be conscious of it. Even with my
so it's weird because my Jakob Owens one also is kind of it's my personal account, but it's also now kind of like,
yeah, of course,
I have 100,000 followers on there, so I can't. There's certain things like I can't do or say because just people will be like, people will just stop being fans of you instantly because of one little thing. You know what I mean? Right. Like I was in Texas, and my uncle, like the majority of my family is from Texas, lives in Texas, Cowboys at heart.
Sure.
One of them's a big hunter and he hunts for food, and like he doesn't big game hunt or anything like that. Like he hunts, kills, eats, feeds like for his family. They last them all year and all this stuff. And he took us hunting. And it was I've never been hunting, and it was just a really cool experience. But he had video of me shooting a deer, which we ended up using like in the eating the meat and everything. Like it wasn't for fun sport, like it was utilized. But not thinking about it, I put up the video on my Instagram story of me shooting the deer, and people went off on me. And like I was like, dang, like I can't have like. That was a moment I realized I can't have a normal life or share things I'm doing in my daily life anymore.
Nope.
Like people will just rail into you, and we're just like, I'm not a fan of you anymore. How could you get? And it was funny. I'm so responsive to like my community and people that follow me, and so I was sitting there just like calmly, like just responding back to people, and I was like, sorry you feel that way. I was like, but I just have a question. Like, have you ever eaten, a burger before?
Right.
And they'd be like, well, yeah. And I'm like, so you support the killing of animals for food then? Because, I mean, that animal's being slaughtered.
You just didn't see it.
Now you didn't see it, but you're still, and they're like, and a lot of people are like, oh man, like I didn't think of it like that. Like, oh, thanks for taking the time to respond. Like, I'm still a fan, like all this, but it's crazy. Like people will really just fly off the handle and rails and like over little. So
imagine that. And that was just off of like, you go out shooting an. Can you imagine if you got religious or political?
Right.
I mean, people, it's just insane. So for people listening, just if you are going to create a brand, even your own personal brand, I'm sure you know who Gary Vee is, right?
Yeah.
But Gary Vee said it he's like, look, dude, I am very opinionated about what's going on in today's world, and I cannot say a word about 100%. It because he goes, I just can't. It's not on brand. So you always have to think about what is your brand? What does your brand represent? Now, if your brand is politics or religion,
you could lose a lot of business by doing something like that.
Exactly.
You could have clients that you've worked with before, done lots of work, and if you post something to Facebook or Twitter that's like, if you're in support of Trump and they're strong against Trump, and
or
you
vice
say
versa, right?
Yeah, and whatever, they could be like, just like those people are like, I'm not fans of you anymore. You could have those people be like, we don't want to work with him anymore. We want to, and so you could lose a lot of business, and especially, depending on the industry you're in, like, but, it's just like, you gotta be careful and keep that kind of stuff to yourself, because you could lose a lot of business or potential business down the road. And you see all this stuff even now in Hollywood surfacing, like with like old viewpoints from 10 years ago.
Yeah,
that
Kevin Hart.
That this actor said this, and 10 years later it comes up, and then they're dropped from this client or this or this. And
what happened with James Gunn on Guardians of the Galaxy?
Yeah.
I was in such an insane, like 10-year-old Twitter that he was trying to be funny,
right?
And he lost Guardians of the Galaxy. I was like,
that's nuts.
It's insane. It was insane.
So everyone out there,
just keep it to yourself, guys. Be on brand. Do what you're doing, and that's that. Let's move on from there.